Yes. So we started with our unit 5 Markov chain, right? So what are the topics related to Markov chain we are going to look at is like we are going to learn about your stochastic process, Markov process and Markov chain. And followed with that, we are going to study about your transition probability, which is one step and n step, right? And next we are just going to find your TPM, that is the probability matrix corresponding to your transition and its application where it is applied, okay? And finally, we are just going to have one theorem called Chapman-Kolmogorov theorem, where we are just going to use it in the problem, right? So very first, we are followed with the case of classification of your states of your Markov chain. Based on it, we are just going to discuss what are the state the given transition probability matrix will go on. Okay. And coming to this, next we'll define what do you mean by a stochastic process. So a random process is a collection of random variable as S, T, as already we discussed. Okay, I'm running through the definitions what we had in the last class. Okay, which are functions of a real variable t, which is time. And what we consider is nothing but your sample space, and t is nothing but your index set, and which is going to be a real valued functions. And S, what we consider the possible collections of your outcomes will be called as a state space. Okay, in probability we'll call it a sample space, right? The set of all possible values of an individual member is nothing but the experiment is called as your state space. And we have four categories of your classification of a random process. Can you say what are those as we discussed in the last class? For classification based on discrete and continuous. Yes. We have a discrete random sequence if both your S and T are discrete. And discrete random process if S is discrete and T is continuous. And continuous random sequence if S is continuous and T is discrete. If S and T are continuous, we'll call that as a continuous random process. So these are the random classification of your random process, and followed with the definition of your Markov process. See, very simple. Markov process is nothing but the process which depends on the immediate period, not the very old. So the decision will be just taken, for the future decision will be taken based on today, not for the days before what happens. For example, the weather condition. So weather condition will be predicted based on today, what will be the weather condition for the tomorrow, not for the last week, right? So it is a very good example for your Markov process, right? So if for the time T1, T2, etc., T3, which are all the past time existing, and we have probability of x of t which is less than x, such that the previous existing of your random process will be obviously this case where that does depend upon the nth term which is actually happened period. And we'll call such a process a Markov process. And very to a layman definition, it is like if the future behavior of the process depends only on the present state and not on the past. So such a process will be called as a Markov process. Technically speaking, this is your definition with terms of your parameter S and T. And to be a very a layman point of view, the definition is like depicting your future based on the present, not in the past. Okay. So coming to the Markov chain, so where this explicitly the definition of your Markov chain, where P of xn is equal to an, which is based on the past events, is nothing but the nth term will be decided based on your n minus 1. This is equivalent to this one. Okay, so to design your future, we'll just look about what is happening today. So that is your Markov chain. And so we have two types of transition here. One is one step, another one is n step. So one step is nothing but from n minus 1, it is jumping to n. So it is like x of n is decided ai, aj. So it's jumping from one step prior. And if it is the case of your process, Markov chain process will be decided. Yes. We have one more case, like we call it as an n-step transition process, where this n-step has been designed. Okay. And coming to the next, we'll define the homogeneous Markov chain process, where irrespective of your steps, this is equivalent. Pij is nothing but the transition probability matrix. So where n minus 1 comma n and this step is m minus 1 comma m, these are equivalent. In one step transition probability, that will not depends on your step. Okay. So, and if it is not homogeneous, will be called as a stationary transition probabilities. And in n step transition probability, look at here, it is like Pij of whole power n. If it is one step, you can look at here, this is your one step, Pij of n minus 1. We don't have any power here, it is just understood it's 1. If it is n step, it is to the power of Pij whole power n, where the transition happens based on this. So based on one step and n step, the Chapman has designed a theorem which we called as Chapman's Kolmogorov theorem, and it's always called as an equation, where it is Pij the whole power n is nothing but Pij of n, where P is nothing but matrix. Finding a matrix whole to the power n is nothing but making a product of the matrix, n times the product of the matrix. He has been checking for what the execution of the power of a matrix. So if I have a matrix of n cross n, what will be the n? Nth, the power of n. It is equivalent to the nothing but n times product of your corresponding matrix. Okay. So it was coined, it was identified by him. So it was named after him as Chapman's Kolmogorov equation. And once this has been designed, we will be going into deep what about the categories and states of your process and chain. So based on the matrix, if the values of the matrix are all if the matrix the values of the matrix are all greater than 0 or positive, we'll say it's actually regular. But to be in the case this, they are given as positive, that means no negative. 0 will not false or negative, right? 0 or greater than 0 if the elements, the entries in your matrix p to the power m, that means multiplication of a matrix to m times. So in that scenario, we'll call such a probability matrix as your regular matrix, and a homogeneous Markov chain will be called as your regular if my TPM is regular. Am I right? 62. So classification of your states. So we have like 5 to 6 states, like irreducible and reducible, persistent and transient, and we have non-null, null persistent, non-null persistent. So based on this, we'll finally define one category as ergodic. See, when as a definition, when you're looking at, it's like pure theory. But when you go into a problem, it will be easy how to identify the states. Okay. So first one, irreducible. Irreducible is very simple. If each state is reachable from other, we'll say it is irreducible. That means from state 1 to state 2, state 2 to state 3. If it is reachable from every other states, then we'll call such a state, such a nature as irreducible. Otherwise, it is reducible. And return state. So one, if a state I is in the chain is return state if my elements that if my entries are greater than 0. Okay. So and the next state is periodic state and aperiodic. Periodic is nothing but we'll find the GCDs of the entries which is greater than 0. GCDs of the entries greater than 0 in PM. Okay. So when you go into the problem, it will be very clear what it is. So you have to be very clear, periodic or aperiodic will be desired by the word GCD. And if this GCD is equal to 1, we'll say it's an aperiodic state. If it is not equal to 1, greater than 1, we'll say it's periodic. A state is periodic with period di. If it is equal to 1, we'll directly say it's aperiodic state. So that's what is given. State I is periodic with a period di if di is greater than 1, and if it is equal to 1, we'll say it's aperiodic. Coming to the next one is recurrent state and transient state. So recurrent state and transient state is nothing but the entries. If I have 3 cross 3 matrix, the sum of your rows, we have to check this is your first state, second state, third state. If the sum of your rows is equal, these entries are nothing but this F31, F32, F33. So if your sum of these entries is equal to 1, then that state is returnable. Okay, so the state return to the state I is certain and the state is said to be persistent if this condition is satisfied. Okay, otherwise we'll call it as a transient. And coming to the next one is null persistent. If this is equal to 1, then we'll go in with your mean recurrence time. And if the mean recurrence time is executing, which is less than or greater than infinity, that's finite or infinite. If mu I, the mean recurrence state is finite, then that state is called non-null persistent. And if it is equal to 0, infinity, we'll call it as a null persistent. Okay. And based on all those 6 categories, it has been decided with a specific state coining as ergodic state. Usually you have a problem to check whether the given transient, that is TPM, is ergodic or not. So ergodic is, the definition is a non-null persistent and aperiodic state is called ergodic. And so instead of going and checking non-null persistent, there is a easy way of checking. That is, we have the note here. If the Markov chain is irreducible, once your chain is irreducible, all the states, like if I have n number of states, the matrix order, n cross n matrix. Okay. So all the state will be of same type. All will be either persistent, or all will be transient, or all will be non-null persistent or null persistent accordingly. They will not differ. If it is irreducible, all states will follow the same type. And second point is nothing but if my Markov chain is finite, because we have infinite also. If it is finite countable, then directly if it is irreducible and finite, all the states will be of non-null persistent. We obviously use this scenario to say it is ergodic, because if I find it is irreducible, then obviously all null persistent will be there. And one more condition to check for aperiodic is we'll find the GCD of. Okay, once we find it, then combining these two results, we'll say whether the given TPM is ergodic or not. Okay, so very clear here we have 6 types of states here. So very first it is like irreducible or reducible, and then we'll go with written states like periodic, aperiodic, and then a persistent, transient, and come again with the last bit. Last, null persistent or non-null persistent. Okay, so with this we'll enter into a problem so that you'll get some idea how it is executing. Okay, so look at the problem. A man either drives a car or catches a train to go to office on each day. He never goes 2 days in a row by a train. Continuously he will not go by a train, right? So, but he drives one day or the next day. And he is just likely to drive again as he is to travel by train. On the first day, he tossed a fat die and drove if 6 appeared. If 6 appeared, okay. So now you'll be taking the cases of your possible the occurrence of experiment as traveling by train and a car. So what are the possibility? Train to train and train to car, car to train, and car to car. So according to this, the probability of traveling train to train will be, what will be the probability? 0. And what is the probability of train to car? So we have 2 mean only car and train. So total is 2 and probability of traveling this charge is 1/2. And similarly for this one, car to train is also 1/2. And what about this one? Why 0? Yes? Not only in a train, right? So look at this. Probability of train to train is 0 and probability of train to car is the thing here. The next day he is just likely to drive. If he drives, the next day he is just likely to drive again if he is to travel by train. So here it is train to car, it is 1 and car to train is 1/2 and traveling by car to car has a possibility of either he can go by car or he can go by train. It's a possibility. So based on this, we can make a probability transition matrix. So it is TC and this is TC. So train to train it is 0, train to a car it is 1 and car to train is 1/2 and car to car is 1/2. Now we have coined the probability transition matrix. Okay. So very initially you have to coin this CPM, transition probability matrix. In some question they'll give you directly, otherwise you have to coin this CPM. And here the question is, what will be the, yes, I don't have the question. Yeah. So the question will be, what will be the probability of the that he will take train the third day? Okay. So that is the question. I missed with the question here. So first question, what will be the probability that he will travel by train in the third day? In the third day. So we found the TPM. So next, initially, what is the given condition? He will be choosing here whether to drive or take a car by tossing a fat die. So if 6 appears, he will drive by car. That is your initial condition given to me. So on the first day, he tosses a fat die and if 6 appears, he will drive. Okay. Otherwise, he will go by a train. So as keeping that as an initial distribution condition, obtaining by throwing a die, by if he get a 6, he will be going by car. So probability of traveling by car is 1/6. So probability of traveling by train is rest of it, 1 minus 1/6. So it is 5/6. And to compute the next day TPM, the condition is to find P of 2 in general. So this will be the order. Like to calculate here P of n, we'll just go with the execution of the nth step with the TPM. P of n is nothing but P of n minus 1 with the TPM matrix. So it will consider this as your initial. This is your initial matrix. So that is your case. We'll assume as P of 1 as first day. On the first trial he started. So I have to go for the second day. So second day is nothing but, so P of 2, it's P of 1 with the matrix P. So this is here P of 1 and this P is nothing but the TPM what we generated. So we'll go with the matrix multiplication. So now I got my P of 2. And coming to the next, to calculate your P of 3, I have to go with P of 2 with the day, the probability what he got in the day 2 should be with the TPM. So I'll get that one. So this is the case. P of 3 with P of 2, which is this. And what is the question actually? The thing is, he will choose traveling by train. So as by the order what we drawn is, it is like TP. The TPM order what we followed, you have to take it accordingly. The first one is train and second one is car, right? So train, car, train, car. This was the thing we have assumed in your order of choosing your travel, right? So it is train, car. So here train, here it is. On matrix multiplication, we got an output. So the possibility of traveling by train is 11/24. Okay. And here we have one more logic. We call it as long run. Long run, the condition here is nothing but pi p is equal to your p, where your pi is nothing but which will be included with pi 1, pi 2. So here they'll be asking you what will be the possibility of long run for driving, long run for traveling with train. So in such a scenario, this will be the long run condition. And so pi is nothing but with a variable of pi1, pi2. And defaultly, this long run, we have a condition pi1 plus pi2 is equal to 1. Because sum of your matrix row will be equal to 1, right? So accordingly, if it is two state, pi1 and pi2, we have two state train and car. So it is pi1 plus pi2. Suppose if I have third option like flying, you'll have third category as flights. So it will be phi 3 will be included. Okay. So long run condition is this thing. With this term, it is like a plus etc. pi n. According to the number of states, sum of your states is equal to 1. Okay. So for that, we will be taking here conditions of this one. So let pi is equal to pi1, pi1, pi2. And I have to find the long run. So pi p into pi, this is your TPM. So pi1 and this one, make a matrix multiplication. So I'll get, because this is your 1 cross 2 and this is 2 cross 2. So output will be your equations. So first one, it is, you just go with the matrix multiplication. So first one, it is 0. Yes. So make a matrix multiplication. So it is half pi 2 is equal to pi 1. So this one, half pi 2 is equal to pi 1. And when I'm just going this one, I'll get it as pi 1 plus half pi 2 is equal to pi 2. So solve these two equations. But when I'm just moving it, these two are the same. So also we have the condition this one according with the long run. So using these equations, pi 2 is equal to 2 pi 2 and pi 2 is equal to 2 pi 1, and using this one, I'll just make use of it and find what is my pi 1 and pi 2. So according to long run, my pi 1 is for the mean of travel by train and pi 2 is mean for the probability for your traveling by car, driving a car. So the question according to be whether find your probability according to your long run is train or like car, you have to give the answer. So here I think it is by driving in a long run. Driving is nothing but driving a car. Okay, so driving in a car is nothing but for the state 2. So it is 2 by 3. So it's very simple. Once a question is given, you have to form a probability matrix. That we'll call it as a transition probability matrix. So certain scenario, they'll give you directly in the question, what is your TPM? And what is your initial probability matrix? Like in this question, they have given you the condition on the first day, he will be going by a car, driving a car. If he get 6 when he is throwing like tossing a die or throwing a die. So here they have been giving a initial as a condition, right? So based on that, you have to go for the requirement of what will be the nth step. So for the nth step, the formula is to calculate your P of n. It is nothing but P of n minus 1 into P. P is nothing but your TPM. Okay. This very basic and very simple because it's a totally problem involved with your matrix. Right? So coming to the second one. Yeah, this is a question. And right now I need an, what are the states here? What are the experiment here? What I can choose it like traveling by train and car. According to this problem, what I can make with the transition matrix? What are the state I can choose? Yes, louder. According to this problem, current night and next night. Any other option? Yes. Studying and not studying. Night study. Okay, so we'll go with assuming my experiment is like studying and not studying. Okay, so here if he studies the first night, studied the first night and not studying in the next night. So the probability here it is 70%, so it is 0.7. And if he does not study one night, the probability of not studying in the next night. So it's not studying to the not studying is 0.6. And what about the next scenario? The left out is studying to studying is 0.3. And not studying to studying is 0.4. So now your TPM will be studying, not studying, studying, not studying. So it is study to study is 0.3, study to non-study is 0.7, and non-study to study is 0.4, and studying to studying is not studying to not studying is 0.6. See, I'm assuming here studying and not studying. You can swap it, non-studying and studying. That's your choice. But accordingly, you have to write the requirement of your problem. So yes, studying and not studying. So given probability this scenario, so 0.7 and 0.3 and the rest. So this is here TPM. Okay. So the question here it is, you have to find a long run for studying and not studying. Right? Probability of studying and not studying in the given scenario. So you know the long run is pi p is equal to pi, and pi is nothing but your matrix P1 or pi 2, this one. And your matrix here we go and is, what is that? It is 0.3, 0.7, 0.4, 0.6, and this one it will get it as pi 1, pi 2. So matrix multiplication, you'll get it as 0.3 pi 1, 0.4 pi 2 is equal to pi 1, and 0.7 pi 1 plus 0.6 pi 2 is equal to pi 2, and additionally we have one more condition, pi 1 plus pi 2 is equal to 1. So using all these equation 1, 2 and 3, you have to find what is your pi 1 and pi 2. That is your corresponding probability of your long run for studying and not studying. Okay. Am I right, 70? So basically we have these two equations. So all these three. So solving that, we'll have pi 1 and pi 2. And here the studying in terms of long run is, long run we have it is for studying in the says. So it's 4 by pi. Suppose if it is not studying, it is 7 by 11. Still now we have not touched with defining the natures. We are just going only with finding what is the corresponding probability based on the given TPM. Got it? So next question. Suppose the probability of a dry day following a rainy day is 1 by 3. And that the probability of rainy day following a dry day is 1 by 2. And given that May 1 is a dry day, find the probability of May 3 is also a dry day and May 5 is also a dry day. So I have to find a TPM first of all. So here, what are the possible states here? Dry day and rainy day. Okay, so I'll take dry day and rainy day. So here the probability of a dry day following a rainy day. Dry day following the rainy day. Rainy day, it's actually dry day followed by a rainy day. That means this is R then D. So R then D is 1 by 3. And what about the next? The probability of a rainy day following a dry day. So which one is 1 by 2? Probability of rainy day. Please look at the question. Following a rainy day. It's not followed by, following a. So in which? First, what it is? 1 by? Right? So how it is? It's the rainy day following a dry day. So dry day followed with a rainy day. Right? So what about the left? So it is like a probability of it, right? So total of your row is equal to 1. So it is 1 by 2 and it is 2 by 3. Same scenario only we have did in the last case. It's 70%. So it is left out is 30% and 60% left out is 40%. So now it has been given that this is your TPM. Okay. So now we have coined that TPM. So what's the question? We have to show that May 3 is a dry day and May 5 is also a dry day. So what is your May 1? The first day is dry day. So what is your initial probability? Dry day is opt. So it is 1, 0. Got it? May 1st is your dry day. That means total probability 1 for your May. So left it 0. So now how to find for your May 3 and May 5. That is for third day and fifth day. So I have to find here P of 3 and P of 5. So for that I have to go for what is here? P of this is actually here first day. So P of 1. So I have to go for P of 2. So it's P of 1 with P. Then I have to go for P of 3. It is P of 2 with P. And next I have to go for P of 4 with P of 3 and P. And finally P of 5 with respect to P of 4 with P. So that was done here. So as May 1st is a dry day, we'll choose with P of 1. And to go with this is your second day. And this is your third day. So what is the probability of going for May 3rd as a dry day? The possibility of your probability, the May 3rd is a dry day is 5 by 12. Because the order, whatever we choose, will be the scenario. Okay. And next one for fifth day, May 5th. So May 5th is a dry day is all right. Yes. I don't know. Yes. Obviously. It's very simple. We don't have too much of big size of matrix. It's a 2 cross 2 or 3 cross 3 you will have. So according to this, comparing to all these 5 units, it's very simple. Only you'll go and find with the matrix all here. Yes, not only less formula, less work, but you have to think what is asked and the order what you choose. Okay. So we'll have a break now.